things which have a lot of mindset change needs to take place. It worked on us, and we took our own things that were done purposely for the sake of the weather, for the sake of the region which we were staying
Exactly.
in. We took it and put it aside, and then we brought in what wasn't supposed to be. And Mommy,
Dream day got me on.
Starzy.
Oh, white family music. I'm going back to where I belong. You're the reason why I'm singing this song. Boy, I did you no wrong, but you broke my heart.
I've had people from other nationalities. A lady who was from South Korea, the husband was English. She told me that no, she wanted, they stay in America. So she was telling me that she really wanted her children to learn about other cultures. And I told her, okay, go ahead and get the book. So she was really excited. And she got the book and she told me, oh, my son loved it. They love the illustrations. They love everything about it. And yes, we've learned a great deal about African history. So I said, that's fine. But a certain person, when I talked about the book, an American too, she said, well, this book you're talking about right now, what is the timeline? I told her we're talking about 100,000 BCE. She then said, okay, that if we are talking about that, that means the book is not it's not Christian. It doesn't follow the Christian doctrine because um, our Bible tells us that the world is not more than 6,000 years old.
This is so interesting. This is so interesting. I can't tell you how excited I am for this bit.
So the world is about 6,000 years old. So that means that whatever you are saying, either it's not true or it doesn't follow the Bible. I then told her that, okay, I didn't say that to her. What I just said was that, okay, the Bible, even in the Bible says that a day is like 1,000 years. You understand? 1,000 years is like a day. So you really can't put that down and say that, because everything about the Bible, that this is happening right now, it could have taken, a situation could have taken like 20,000 years to have taken place. So you cannot use that and say, okay, the Bible is wrong and all that. So, but when I just let her be, I told her, if you are not convinced, there's really no need buying the book.
Yes.
Because I don't help people. When you are biased, I just let you be, you understand, until you are happy to, or you have an open mind. Your mind is closeted, you have a closed mind. I don't bother bringing you out of it, you understand.
How about other historians, other people who, have you ever been challenged about any of the information you've put on there?
Well, no, I've not. It's
It's facts.
It's facts, you understand. So I've not. It's facts. It's just the biases. People. It's not about. The only thing people could just tell you is this true? I say, check it up. Read your history books. It's very true. But that's it. It's just the biases. There's nothing about facts there that you say, oh no, what she's saying is not true. I've been in groups, they say, oh, that's very true. I've heard about Timbuktu. I know this happened in Africa. Africa this and Africa did that. Fine, they might not have all the information, but anybody who is open-minded will tell you you are saying the truth.
Yes.
I will look more into this. But they will never come out and tell you that no, this is not true. It has never taken place. I've never had that.
I think that's great advice to advise people, especially someone like myself who's now delving into this side of things, is find out for yourself. And your book is such an amazing place to start. So that's amazing, really is. So how has it been? In fact, let's look at your book. Let's look at your book now, because I'm interested in seeing some of these images as well, because it's historic books.
Okay, first of all, the front cover, like I said, I want to make it exciting for not just children, adults. So adults don't know the African history, so of course it's for everyone. So here, this person here is he's South African. This lady here is Igbo. I wanted an African setup. His name is Ubuntu. Her name. That why her name is Eni. So basically, the first thing they say is it says, did ancient Africans know science? And he answers that ancient Africa was Wakanda. the inventions were quite cool. So it comes first of all with letting you know that Africans were scientists. They were not from ancient times. So, just like the title of the book, Hidden Histories, the Science World of Ancient Africa, it tells you about how science was in Africa way, way before anybody even thought of science. Yes, I can comfortably say that. And of course, there's a bonus chapter on education. Excuse me. There's a bonus chapter on education, how Africans also pioneered education. Quite interesting. So, okay, let's the contents. I don't know. Okay, for the table of contents, I have Imhotep, who was an ancient African scientist and a multi genius. He was a polymath. Yes, he wasn't. He built the Imhotep. Imhotep intrigues me a great deal. I wonder how someone could be that vast. He was a physician. He was an architect. He actually built the first pyramid in Egypt.
Yeah.
As Imhotep. So by the time he did that, when the ancient Greeks and the other people visited Egypt, they saw the designs and they went back to their places to improve on it. But he started building the first pyramid in Egypt. He Imhotep was an administrator. He was so many things. He was a jack of all trades. Then I talked about in the second chapter incredible mathematics, how Africans were the pioneers of mathematics, how they did well. You understand? And then education for thinkers. This part here, where it talks about how the Africans brought in the papyrus, how they even the ink which we use to write. They were the ones who still started.
Wow.
Yes, they did all that. Ancient Egyptian monks, they were the ones who did that. The papyrus, from the papyrus plant, the scrolls that were used in writing. Then, besides that aspect, it also talks about the first university in the world.
The first university in the world,
yes.
please. This one.
The first university, that was African. It was from Africa. Yeah,
Did you hear? Let me just pause here. Did you note that the first university in the world was from Africa?
Yes. So that's even besides we are talking about this time around now. We're talking about university as a university. That's besides the Kemet school. The Kemet school. The Kemet school was a university of its own. People like Pythagoras, they actually attended. They schooled in Egypt. You understand? People like Pythagoras, quite a number of the Greek philosophers and all that, they schooled in Egypt. We understand, but all this information, this Pythagoras theorem that we talk about a lot, they were written on the walls of the school in Kemet in ancient Egypt. So Pythagoras didn't it's not something that Pythagoras' theorem is not really something from his head. It was something that was there in ancient Egypt. But when he took it up and he talked about it, everyone said, "Oh, Pythagoras' theorem," and they gave it his name. But it was actually from Africa.
It was actually from Africa.
Yes, from Africa. Then, of course, medicine and surgery. I've talked about that. Then practical and extraordinary architecture. Okay, let me delve a bit into the architecture. You see, right now, what we use, our building materials in Africa is quite different from what was being used then. You know, the adobe or clay, which was used in Africa then, was it was taken as if it was primitive by the time colonization came in, and then we had to opt into other building materials. But do you know the science behind that particular clay, that adobe? The science behind it was simply that when it is when it's hot, because of our region, the way our weather is in Africa, when it's hot outside, when you come into the building that is built with clay, it's cold. That's the way it works. But we had this sense of, by the time you then come and they've introduced so many things to us, I think the building material now is a limestone, and yeah, it was introduced to us. And funny enough, if you don't have AC in your house right now, you understand, with these building materials, you'll be sweating.
Yes.
But that's why I said there was science behind that building, but we didn't appreciate it because we felt that it was primitive. Mm-hmm. We understand. So all those things are things which have a lot of mindset change needs to take place. It worked on us, and we took our own things that were done purposely for the sake of the weather, for the sake of the region which we were staying
Exactly.
in. We took it and put it aside, and then we brought in what wasn't supposed to be. And like I said, a lot of work was put into it, even by the ancients. They knew, okay, this would work for us, and God even placed the materials there for us. But we looked at it and said, oh no, this isn't. We're now modern, so let's go with the modern
Even now that
trend.
we had light off, and now we're sweating because the AC wasn't working for 3 minutes.
So that was basically it. At that point in time, there was no need for AC because all these things were working perfectly. Um, would I? Okay. There's another place I love so much. I just discovered it while I was writing this book, Great Zimbabwe. Oh, when I don't know, it's these people were the is in Zimbabwe. The Great Zimbabwe is now in ruins, but whenever they are, anybody who goes there to visit, in fact, the first settlers, the first uh, Europeans who got into Great Zimbabwe, when they saw Great Zimbabwe, they said this place was, excuse me, it was either built by aliens or it was built by white people. They just couldn't believe that Africans had the knowledge to build something that magnificent. You understand? It was built with stones and they just couldn't imagine it. But at the end of the day, after a lot of research and all that, they said, okay, we give up. It was built by Africans.
You said it's in ruins now. What happened?
It's in ruins because it's in ruins in the sense that you can still go there and see it. You see the stones, but the building itself, the Great Zimbabwe, it was a city. It was I think the Shona people. Yeah, the Shona people were the ones who built it. So they were it's because it's how many years is it? It's over how many years? So I think over the time, it's not just that they have to. There was a lot of migration going on in Africa, so they had to move out. You know, maybe water, the desertification comes to their way, so they have to move to another place. So I think that was at that point in time they left Great Zimbabwe. They migrated and went to another part of Africa. But and I guess that was the reason why the Great Zimbabwe didn't also last. If they were there, they definitely would have been refurbishing it and renovating the area. But basically, but it's still there for anybody who wants to see Great Zimbabwe. So that was for our architecture. Those are just a few parts. There are still a lot of areas in Africa that would.
So that marks the end of part 2, and next week we have part 3, including astronomy and agriculture. So please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Like, comment and subscribe in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the family and see you in the next one. Bye.